Hi from Washington, I'm Scott McFarland, in for Major Garrett. Welcome to the Takeout and welcome to the best of both worlds. It's Friday and it's Halloween. We have the entire weekend to steadily embezzle all of the children's candy. It's a responsibility we share. Except amid the joy, the government shutdown is still casting a cloud over everything, including this. A lot of joy ends at midnight as this prolonged, seemingly endless impasse cuts off nutritional assistance for millions of people, millions of families with kids who are wearing the costumes and trying to have a joyful night tonight. While a judge's decision late today ruled the Trump administration must continue funding SNAP, it's still unclear whether that means millions of Americans will get their food or if this is just the beginning of another long legal battle. CBS News has been in communities big and small, nationwide this week, hearing from the families who are fearful of what happens next.
We're about to see a lot of hungry children be hungry, and that's what bothers me.
For me, having food stamp because our work is dependent on your income. So affecting me, of course, because grocery is kind of high now.
I feel very worried because I don't know if I'm gonna get the help for my kids, and it's something that everyone needs.
There are some states that are trying to fill the gap, even restaurant owners trying to assist in keeping up with people's needs.
So anyone that needs them, we're giving them out, no questions asked at the end of the day. They don't have to show us or prove anything to us. They can just come grab their bagels.
We went 4 or 5 years without making a penny, and we're getting better at our craft. We're on a slow uptick, and like I said, with that blessing, I think I should help others whenever I can.
Lots of people that are in need, so we're lining up to get them help, and then we have multiple ways we can help them.
It's really good to hear about that charity, but this is real fear on a night that's supposed to be about fake celebratory Halloween spookiness. We begin tonight with our Taurean Small, who's on Capitol Hill, working late until Friday. Taurean, you heard about this judge's ruling. Is it having any impact on what you're hearing among the lawmakers who've got us in this mess?
Well, we'll see. Democrats, especially on the Hill, are keeping a close eye to all litigation involving this. But we also, interestingly enough, heard from Trump's director of Economic Counsel, National Economic Council, on Fox just a few moments ago, saying something to the effect of that ruling could potentially force their hand, even though they have been maintaining that it should not have been, that contingency fund should not be used for anything outside of a disaster. They pointed to Hurricane Melissa as potential reason for the need of that, but Democrats aren't buying it. We've heard over the past couple of days that it's cruel and unfair that the Trump administration, in their minds, are using this as leverage. At the same time, there's dueling legislation by senators, one Republican and Josh Hawley, and several Democrats are coming together to sponsor bills that would essentially fund the program throughout the duration of this government shutdown, Scott.
So we hear from the House leadership that they're not going to be in session again next week. No official business, no votes Monday, Tuesday, et cetera. What does that mean for a prognosis of what lies ahead?
Well, it means that this effort to point the blame will continue. House Republicans, especially House Speaker Mike Johnson, is continuing to wash his hands of this situation, saying that the House did its job. Republicans there were able to pass what he's calling a clean continuing resolution to keep spending levels as they were before the shutdown happened. And he said that now it's up to the Senate, not just Senate, but Senate Democrats to get on board with this. As we know, Democrats aren't on board with it. They're taking issue with the fact that this wasn't a bipartisan process. And if we look at the language of that legislation, November 21st would be the deadline for that. Considering we are closing in on that date, it's likely that if a continuing resolution happens, it would have to be rewritten to be extended even further, which means the House would have to come back and do its job.
Real quickly, Taurean, there's this social media post from the president urging Republicans to dump the filibuster, get this done through that very provocative step. What feedback have you heard from anybody on the Hill about that suggestion?
Yeah, Democrats are calling the president's bluff. They're obviously saying that they don't believe that Republicans will be the one to pull the trigger on this. There's history behind this, too. We saw when it came to judicial nominations, that process speeding it up. We saw Democrats were the one to nuke the filibuster over that. Republicans, when they gained majority, were able to do that when it came to Supreme Court confirmations. Now we have both sides looking at this saying that they don't want to go down that road again. House Speaker Mike Johnson said this isn't his chamber, but he would advise against it because of that reason. We also saw Leader Thune not directly responding to the president's post, but earlier in the month saying that under no circumstances would he support a filibuster or ending the filibuster, and it's unlikely now that he would be unchanged on that position.
Gotcha. Really good work, Taurean. And if you think we didn't notice the Halloween tie, if you didn't think we'd see that, you're kidding yourself. Have a good weekend. Thanks for your help.